Academic fraud and grade inflation are in the news once again, this time due to a report about the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
In 2010, UNC suspended football player Michael McAdoo for improper assistance on an African Studies paper. However, UNC basketball player Rashad McCants has come out to say he has been doing the same thing all his years in college.
He beats the wing, McCants. Jump shot of three. Good! Right between the eyes!
In the spring of 2005, junior guard Rashad McCants was the second leading scorer on the North Carolina team that won the national title. According to his college transcript, which Outside the Lines obtained from UNC with McCants' permission, that semester he also received straight A's and made the dean's list. Although he says by then, he never went to class.
I would wake up about 12 o'clock, get some lunch, head to practice.
So how did he attain this grade average without going to class? Like most football and basketball players at UNC, he was enrolled in the Department of African and Afro-American Studies, better known as AFAM Studies, run by Julius E. Nyangoro and his assistants in this faulty practice. This man is Julius E. Nyangoro, chairman of the AFAM Studies program at UNC. He is to be held responsible for the consequences of this class on the players and the school as a whole. Here is Kenneth Weinstein, lead investigator of the UNC Scandal. He explains just how Julius and the other teachers went about grading their so-called papers for the athletes.
She would grade that paper herself and do so typically with an A or a B+, and then the student would get that grade, and the grading would be done pretty much without regard to the quality of the paper.
You're there to make revenue for the college. You're there to put fans in the seats. You're there to bring prestige to the university by winning games.
McCants says players were steered to the bogus AFAM classes.
McCants recalls a conversation between himself and the head coach of UNC basketball, Roy Williams. Roy talked to him about academic probation and how McCants was on the verge. So Roy Williams steered him into the AFAM classes and persuaded him to take them.
We went straight to the AFAM classes because those classes were a piece of cake. You didn't have to go to those classes. It wasn't an actual class. It was just write a paper at the end of the semester.
McCants tells reporters that personally, he did not write his papers. He had tutors doing that for him. He also explains, and I quote, "It was a class where answers were given to you before the test." Clearly, we're all very disappointed in this program. Let's hear some more.
Kind of bothered. I'm sure everybody is by the duration that it turned out that all this corruption was taking place.
In the grand scheme, I'm sure there are other colleges out there doing the exact same thing. Until next time, I'm Ryan Sullivan with my colleague Nick Roche, and we continue to bring the heat. Good night, America.